these mountains, don't you? And you also know this bridge and this lake. Oh, what a beautiful scenery. Ah, lame ass trucks everywhere. Okay guys, 20 seconds of courage is our topic today. And I want to tell you about my 20 seconds of courage. First of all, how did I come up with this idea of 20 seconds of courage? First of all, I watched a movie. It's called We Bought a Zoo.
We bought a zoo!
Yes, we did. We did buy a zoo.
I think Matt Damon, bunch of kids in there. The storyline is, I don't know, I don't think it's a romance movie because mommy dies at the beginning. Actually, she's already dead when the movie starts. Matt Damon is a single dad, widower. He's some kind of journalist. He has a, I don't know, 5-year-old daughter and a 13, 14-year-old son. And basically his life's shit and he quits his job, and I think the kid gets thrown out of school. The son is getting kicked out of school and the father decides to move. And then they meet this real estate dude and they go from house to house checking for a place worth moving to. Look at the scenery, guys. Nice mountains and lakes and little tunnels. And yeah, 20 seconds of courage is kind of like the part of the movie, because they end up buying a house and a zoo belongs to the house, to the grounds, and they can't sell the animals. They have to kind of work with the zoo and kind of own it and operate it. So they do, and of course he's a newbie and he has no idea. This is kind of like the part of the story. I don't want to explain and talk about the whole movie. The main thing is that there's this 14-year-old girl and the son is kind of in love with her.
I like your drawing.
And of course he messes it up because he's an idiot.
I hear you may not be staying here much longer.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yes!
And the father talks about 20 seconds of courage.
You know, sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage. Just literally 20 seconds of just embarrassing bravery. And I promise you, something great will come of it.
So many beautiful lakes and shit. And I'm stuck behind that fucking truck. There's the next car. I love this road. This scenery is so awesome. And my exhaust sounds so freaking awesome too. Are you going to stop in the tunnel just in front of a curve just to let a bike pass? Well, thank you for that. Anyway, 20 seconds of courage. The father gives advice to the son. Take 20 seconds of courage and just do your best. And yeah, things will either work out or they won't, but at least it was honest. And that kind of impressed me. I really liked that part about the movie. The rest is not really interesting. I mean, yay, the zoo becomes successful, and I mean, they spent like 2 hours renovating the whole thing, and daddy has a good cry about mommy at the end. That brings me to my own story. My own 20 seconds of courage. I was in Australia when I was 23, 24, and I traveled Australia as a working holiday maker. And well, I wasn't traveling by myself, but let's not open that can of worms. There was a German girlfriend involved, but let's say that our paths kind of split on the way, and there's a copper. And there's a copper, and that copper hopefully leaves me alone. Let's take in the scenery some more and pretend we're quiet and behave. So I was traveling around there, and I ended up in Perth in December 2004 to January, March, April-ish 2005. And basically there were lots of Japanese, and yeah, I met a Japanese girl, but I met her as part of the group, and I don't know what to say. We as a group went out a lot. We went to Northbridge, we went to this bar club area. Yay, let's get shit-faced and go drinking, that kind of thing. I should have turned around more. And it was great. I was just part of the group, and I was the only non-Japanese, I think. So basically that group got smaller and smaller, and at the end it was just me and her, and my working holiday visa was running out end of April, and hers had just started at the beginning of December, I think. So yeah. Long story short, we ended up going to Northbridge, or we ended up going drinking and clubbing by ourselves, but seriously, nothing had ever happened, and I don't know why or what, and what made me feel the way I do and did. But to be honest with you, I just knew. And we had this talk at the end of, I don't know, an evening. We were back at the hostel in the morning, and we were sitting on some balcony. I used to smoke back there, and I just had my 20 seconds of courage. And the funniest thing was, I hadn't even kissed that girl at that time. I just fucking poured my heart out, and I said stuff like, you are from Japan and I am from Germany, and there's a whole freaking world in between. And I don't actually know or remember what I said, but it really came from the heart, and I was like, if you want to make this work, we can make this actually work. And this is not some yay, we're in Australia fling, I'm trying to get in your pants talk. This is, let's make it fucking work. Let's come up with a plan in which you and I will stay together for longer than the next 3 months, because, as I said, end of April I had to go home, and she was supposed to be staying there. And yeah, we did make it work. And she just listened to all of this crap, and she's just like, yeah, okay, let's go, let's do it, or whatever. I have no idea what made her. I don't know if she will ever watch this video. She'll probably kick my ass if she ever does. But it was hilarious. And yeah, at the end of, well, long story short, fucking leaves. Oh, I love tunnels. Basically, I went back to Germany, and she stayed in Australia, and she started traveling. And from April, end of April, right, May, June, July-ish, she was by herself, and we talked on the phone a lot, and she said things like, oh, you're so far away, and I don't think I can wait until October or November. The plan was for me to go back to Australia for a month, to work in Germany for a season and make some money. And he's stopping me, isn't he? You better let me first. Fucking cars. So I worked back in Germany for a season to make some money and go back to Australia with a bit more savings. That was the original plan, but I think in June she just said, nah, I'm not gonna wait for that long. Can I come to Germany And I asked my mom, I was staying with my parents again to save money. And I said to my mom, can my Japanese girlfriend stay here for 2 months and then we go back to Australia together? Mom's like, yeah, go ahead. So YouTube, hello again. You guys were just in the tunnel and all of a sudden riding Japan is gone. But yeah, well, I ran out of battery yesterday and I came home and I was like, no, everything is ruined. So I've decided to kind of start where I finished off last time. My mom said she could come to Germany, so she did. She had a very long flight with really bad connections, and at the end she didn't have her luggage. So my wife came to Germany and I worked there, as I mentioned before, and then we went to Australia together, back together. We stayed there for a bit and then we went to Japan and we got married and I stayed here 8 years, etc, etc. I think the story is much longer than it has to be. I'm gonna cut it short. And after all this, something happened, and it happened last October, and this is basically why I'm making this video, because I wanted to put some footage at the end of it all. On October 12th, yay, I can actually tell you, my son was born, and here's some video of him, so you can all scream congratulations. And I hope you liked my 20 seconds of courage, and everything will turn out fine in the future. I'll try to upload stuff more regularly again, but as you can imagine, things are gonna be tough.
Leo, おはよう。朝だよ。レオ起きな。